Pete Hegseth, who is a decorated Iraq war vet and the executive director of a great group called Vets for Freedom.
And I was an infantry platoon leader and a civil affairs officer in Samara. I worked with the government.
And you were under fire?
Absolutely.
And what was that like?
It's scary, but it's reality.
But for my money, actions always speak louder than words. And Ms. Kagan's actions toward recruiters with wars raging overseas undercut the military's ability to fight and win wars.
And as a veteran, as someone who's served, the fact that they would go into a hearing with our top commander on a foreign battlefield and disrupt his ability to inform our members of Congress about what's actually going on, I mean, that's incredibly disturbing.
Why in the world would they care what you and a couple of other kooks in Southern California send them in the mail? They don't. These letters will end up in the toilet or on the firing range. They don't care about it. You should spend your time talking to politicians and not to soldiers. They're there with a mission and they're completing it.
And I guarantee you that one meeting from a constituent, from a veteran who's actually walked the ground, seen the enemy firsthand, and understand what's at stake means a lot more to a member of Congress than some paid protesters that are up there every day for their own political agenda.
I would argue that the ACLU's objective is not necessarily to find out what actually happened, but to drag the Bush administration through the mud for political gain.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't that be inappropriate?
Ms. Kagan is clearly a capable academic, and the president has the right to choose who he pleases. But in replacing the only remaining veteran on the Supreme Court in Justice John Paul Stevens, how did we reach this point in this country where we're nominating someone who unapologetically obstructed the military at a time of war?
You attack his character. You call him a traitor and a liar, which is essentially what they were saying with their general betray us ad. They didn't want to deal with the assessment he came back to give because it didn't align with their political objectives. Code Pink and groups like MoveOn.org, they're radical fringe left-wing organizations that exist to really poison the public discourse. I mean, they're not moving the conversation forward. They're disrupting hearings every single day and doing everything they can to ensure that there is not a substantive discussion about the best way forward.
We think it's intellectually inconsistent to say you support the troops, not the mission. I'm a Vikings fan. That's like saying I support the Minnesota Vikings, but I don't want to see them win the Super Bowl this year.
We are going to stand and fight. We will stand and fight. We will not fiddle while Rome burns. Now is our time. Now is our time to choose. We need the candidate that can beat Amy Klobuchar. I know I can do that. I need your help. Go to PeteForSenate.com and join us. Thank you.